Test, test, test. Hello, hello, hello. For all 14 people out there, how's the audio? A couple of things have changed since I last streamed, so there might be some adjustments to be made. YouTube, Twitch, and Streamlabs OBS have changed considerably since I last streamed, so there's a couple of new features that I'm trying out. Anyway, audio is good. Okay, cool. Before I get started, I just want to talk about first the hiatus that I took from streaming, the Bitcoin magazine videos that I've been doing, and what you can expect from me going forward from here. So, unless you haven't noticed, maybe you haven't, I haven't done a stream in quite a while. The last one I did was over the summer with Josh Olszewicz, and yeah, I started taking a break from streaming because I wasn't enjoying it as much. There wasn't as much market activity to talk about, first of all. But second of all, it just wasn't as much fun. And I think that the overall market sentiment was pretty low. I think that contributed considerably to just general low viewer count. But going forward, I'm going to try to do this every Sunday to close out the weekly and the daily, and maybe I'll think about doing like a monthly close stream, but I primarily want to focus on the macro market structure because I think most people that are still in the game right now they're focused on the macro picture. They're not, yeah, there are intraday traders, but primarily people are focusing on the higher time frame view, maybe a couple months to a year outlook, what they can expect going forward with their investment portfolios. And that's really what I want to cater my branding and my public content toward. So I want to be doing just at least one stream per week on Sunday nights this exact same time, so that we can just continuously update the macro market view. I'm not really going to get down below the 4-hour time frame, just because especially now it's very low volume, very high volatility. And I don't think a lot of people are even really trading that anyway. So going forward with the Bitcoin magazine videos, I won't be producing videos for them anymore. They're going through a rebrand. And so part of their rebrand is to primarily stick to fundamental sort of things. And, great for them. They want to rebrand, that's fine. But I'm going to take this opportunity to build up my audience, my following, and really dig into what I feel like is my edge in the market, and that is presenting a macro market view, both of the crypto market, the Bitcoin market, and the altcoin market. And part of that, I'm going to be putting out on, I don't want to say Monday, but I want to say Monday to Tuesday, I'll be releasing a long form version of my market analysis. I put out a test run back over the summer. I put out a couple of market reports, and I really like doing that. I personally like to write. I like to, do public speaking. That's what I really like to do. And so I'm going to dig into that, and maybe some fruits will be had from those efforts. But it'll basically just be a format like this. So I'll show you what it looks like if you haven't seen it. This is the last one I published back in July. And just has a brief abstract, and it's going to be much more technically focused. And it's just going to run through with an abstract, talk about Bitcoin market, where the long entry positions will be, and the rationale for that. And yeah, it gets kind of in the weeds, but for every market call that I make, if you want to call it a market call, there's an explanation as to why I feel the way I feel. And then at the end, there will be a conclusion and a summary as to what I think is going to be actionable with the information I provide. After Bitcoin, there's a crypto market cap, which is the market capitalization of the entire crypto market. And I'll talk about the reason why I feel like I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about the crypto market cap, but that's something that I'm specifically interested in, because I feel like the crypto market cap is the pulse on the market. And if you can understand the crypto market cap, you can understand capital's leaving or coming into the market and where it might be sloshing around. So, even if you're not an intraday trader, I feel like you can gain an edge as to where the most productive use of your capital would be. So for example, if Bitcoin is trending upward and we think that Ether will have a sustained move over the next few weeks or something, maybe that would be a good time to slosh over some of your Bitcoin funds into Ether, and you can kind of amplify your profits that way. It's a bit safer, lower risk, and it's just going to be served to be an amplifier for your investment portfolio. And so we'll start out with a crypto market cap, which is the total market cap, including Bitcoin and all the altcoins. And following that, there'll be an altcoin market cap, because in my opinion, I think that altcoins are one entity. Bitcoin is another monster, and together they make crypto. And so when the altcoins are doing well, I think that's a really good sign for the overall pulse of the market. And so that's of particular interest. And so, of course, I have the altcoin market cap and the various conclusions we can draw from there. And then following that, I'll just tag on a couple of altcoins that I feel are looking pretty good. So if you've been following me on Twitter, that would be Link, that would be Litecoin, that would be, the various coins that I've been talking about on Twitter lately. So it'll just be a long form version of that, and it's going to be super cheap. It's like $4 per report, and it's non-committal because it's going to be through Patreon. And basically you can just set a limit to how many you want to buy per month, and then it'll just be automatically delivered to you. And if you want to subscribe to all of them, then I'll put one out every week, and it'll just be $4. So basically the cost of a snack at the gas station or a cup of coffee, and that will that'll be delivered on Monday or Tuesday. And of course, because it's not, you're paying by the actual report, you won't be charged just frivolously and fruitlessly. It'll just be for what I put out, you'll get charged. And if I don't put anything out, then that's okay too. You won't be charged. Okay. So with that going forward, I'm going to keep a consistent format with my streams, the weekly streams that I'll be doing. And the streams will start off with a total market cap view, an altcoin market cap view, going down to the Bitcoin market view, and then just a sprinkling of some alts. And then at the end, I'll take a couple of requests from you guys if you have some random altcoins that you're interested in, and we'll look at it together. So Paul, you're saying I am lagging? What do you mean I'm lagging? You might just need to refresh your browser. I'm not really sure what that means when you say that I'm lagging. You mean it's like desyncing from the audio to the visual? Because I haven't really been doing anything. Okay, so if everything is good, then let's move forward here, because there's a lot of information to cover. So taking the initial look at the total market cap, my personal approach for these long macro trends is I like to use the Ichimoku Cloud model. In addition to the Ichimoku Cloud, I like to have the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. The 50 EMA is the blue, and the 200 EMA is the red. They're just a slow and a fast moving average that can show you short-term and long-term trend. And right now, the crypto market cap is showing a strong macro trend with the 200 EMA. When we look at the 50 EMA, we see that we broke south of it just a little bit, and now we're finding a nice, ideally a close right on top of it, which is going to be a bullish retest of the 50 EMA. Some other notable cloud features. I won't bog you down with the details of cloud structure, but what we can see here is we had a kind of a bearish signal, which is the slow moving average moving above the fast moving average. But so far, when we're looking at the macro trend, the 50 EMA, it's flat a little bit, but it's trending upward, and the 200 EMA is trending upward, and now the price is finding support here. and ideally we'd like to see a close above this this blue line here, which is called the Tenkan. But I'm totally comfortable with this 50 EMA close. What else can we say about this? It's kind of like an indecisive in terms of cloud structure. It's a little bit indecisive on the weekly time frame. And when we look down at the daily, if it will load, the daily is it's short-term bearish here. So we saw this recross of the 50 and the 200 EMA, and we were hoping to get a cross with the 50 called a golden cross. We were hoping to see a cross above the 200, but that wasn't what we got. So we're seeing a bit of mixed signals here, and in terms of the daily structure, not a whole lot of insight can be gleaned here. But when I look at the macro structure, this is what the beginning of macro markets trending in a direction look like. So we see a lot of times we see an overshoot of a fast moving average, an undershoot, and right now we're claiming support here. So this looks good to me. This is what I like to see at the beginning of a macro market reversal. When I say macro market reversal, I mean the beginnings of a new bull run, something that I don't know if it's going to be a 2017 sort of thing, but it is something that means that the beginning of a strong move to the upside. This is what the beginning of it would look like. That's not a guarantee, but this is a nice setup. When we look at the altcoin market cap, this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. So when we look at the altcoin market cap, I'll take all my scribblies off here. We see that the price has just been hugging this 200 EMA. The price is currently sitting below the cloud, but it's finding support not only in the 200 EMA, which is our slow moving average, but the Tenkan of the cloud. It is currently finding support, and what I really, really don't want to see is I don't want to see the weekly candle start to trend back below here. We saw the market break below it, and it bobbed right back above this 200 EMA. And when we see this sort of action, we can think of the 200 EMA as like the waterline of our buoyancy. So if you see an object that's like, floating in water, that's the water line. And when objects find their neutral point, they can start to bounce. But if they start to dip below, they're going to start drifting down. So we really don't want to see the 200 EMA give way, because that most likely means it's going to be pushing new lows, testing support maybe here at the 56 billion mark or something like that. But so far, this is looking okay. Not the best, not the most bullish, but it's looking okay. What we want to see next, after we see this hold support on the 200 EMA, we want to see the 50 EMA get reclaimed. Okay, so now that we've talked about that we have a slight bullish bias on the total market cap and the altcoin market cap, we can start to develop a thesis for our Bitcoin market analysis. So I'm gonna tune over to Bitcoin, and we're gonna look again at the macro structure, and we'll zoom in to about the 4-hour structure. Okay, so at the moment we are currently seeing a retest of this level right here, this zone of prices, right at the $8,300 zone, and it's kind of giving up this level of support here on the daily and intraday timeframes, but so far it's not the worst looking chart. We did see a bit of a shakeout, and when we zoom in a bit more, it'll be a little bit more obvious what's going on here. So when we look at the daily time frame, we see all these levels getting tested here. We see this most immediately getting tested at the $8,400 mark, the $8,380, and so far it's holding, and it's holding in a consolidation pattern called a falling wedge. So this falling wedge is not a guarantee of a bullish breakout, but the features of a falling wedge are, we see consolidating volume, we see consolidating price, where it starts to narrow and it starts to neck here. And so far we're testing a breakout of this falling wedge, and it's getting slapped down a little bit. And when we look at the 60-minute time frame, we can see that we're just retesting this support and resistance flip here. So as long as this level holds, we could be in for a strong move to the upside. And the potential upside target is pretty big. So let's talk about that. When we measure a falling wedge, I mean, you can call this a bull flag, but let's be a little bit more conservative. And the falling wedge has a price target just by going like this. You take the pivot and you project it down, and we get about an $800 move. So we just project it from the price of the breakout, and we get about a retest of the 9300s, maybe 9400s if we're lucky. But ultimately, it's most likely just going to manifest in a retest of this band of prices here. So pay attention to this green zone as I zoom out, because that's going to be the level of focus, and that's going to be the market structure pivot point when we look at a bullish or bearish bias on a macro time frame. So the weekly view has this nice zone here, and that's outlined by this weekly swing high and this monthly level here. So the monthly level is at 9270, and the weekly level, the top of this zone, is at let's just call it 9600. If the falling wedge breaks out, that would have us retesting from the bottom this zone at about 9250, 9260 ish. So that's the level to watch, right? And we're looking at the 60-minute time frame, or the 4-hour time frame, or just general intraday time frames. We don't really want, maybe we see a new low here, but we do not want to see a strong continuation at this point, because that would mean most likely just going to bleed out, because we've been seeing this impulsive move on lower time frames where we see the market shove upward and then bleed out over a sustained period of time. And so far, that's what it looks like here. But right now, it's sitting right on support. This is where we want to see the bullish level close. And if this gives way, it's most likely going to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th test of support here at 7,700. And I'm not so sure that that holds if we get a running start here and break this. So the immediate level to watch right now is 8380. We want to see that level hold. Don't want to see a daily close back below that level. That would be an indication that more downside is in store. And yeah, that's what we want to keep an eye out on. The daily candle closes in about 10 minutes. So I mean, it seems unlikely that we're just going to see this raging selling pressure coming in. And what I'm immediately looking for is this falling wedge. I want to see this market break out here with conviction, and I want to see high spread and high volume. What I don't want to see is a fake out. I don't want to see this break to the upside and immediately reverse. If this breaks out to the upside and this reverses, this most likely is going to see a strong round of selling, and that would most likely have us retesting the $7,700 level. So just to recap what I said, because I kind of just word vomited on you guys. We want to see this immediate level at 8390. Let's just call it 8400. We want to see that close. Do not want to see a daily close back below that. That would be bad. Most likely would have us retesting the $7,700 value. And yeah, the market structure that we're watching at the present moment is a breakout of this falling wedge, this little memer right here. And the thing that we want to see is a strong move to the upside on high volume and high spread. Don't want to see a high volume move and a retracement. That is what we do not want to see. That is a sheer sign that liquidity has been gathered for a large short position, and a move to the downside can be anticipated from there. Okay, before we move on, do you guys have any questions about the altcoin market cap, the total market cap, or the Bitcoin market structure? The immediate upside target that I'm eyeballing is a retest of the $9,250 to $9,300 zone. Do you guys have any questions about anything that I said before I move on? I'll wait for the audio to catch up to you guys. I know there's like a delay or something. No questions? Okay. So while we're waiting for the weekly candle to close, I'll go ahead and move on to some alts that I think are really interesting from a very macro market perspective. The one that I'm immediately interested in is Link. Link looks really fucking good. The cloud structure is just about as bullish as you can get on the daily time frame. We can see that the market has just been riding this Kijun here, which is our slow moving average. And typically when we see a break of the 50 EMA, there's usually a retracement back down to it to retest it. But in this case, it never got that opportunity. It was so bullish, it was just riding along this Tenkan. I'm sorry, the Kijun, and it got all these tests and it got bought up aggressively. We see that the price is trending above both the Tenkan and the Kijun, which is the blue and the red line. We also see that the lagging span, which is this yellow little squiggly bro right here, is trending above the price. And we also see that the 50 EMA is moving upward. We can get a little bit more market information if we look back at the Binance, but it doesn't really have a USD pair. It's kind of just like the conversion of it. But we can see here that the 200 EMA has been getting a lot of love. It got tapped here and it rallied. Got tapped here and it rallied. And we haven't seen a really strong overbought signal since we retapped the 200 EMA here. We do see that. It has a lot of strong bullish market features. We do see that the 200 EMA, the 50 EMA are trending upward very strongly. Prices again above the Tenkan and the Kijun, and this thing just looks like it's just ready to just keep on trucking. If you're looking at it from a macro perspective, the immediate level to beat is going to be this weekly close at $3.3. We can see that we got a retest on this wick here, but nothing terribly exciting. And we also see that on the weekly time frame that the 50 EMA is trending up. So again, confirmation of the uptrend. When we look at the BTC pair, this is what we want to see, and this is why I'm interested in this coin specifically. It's good that it's trending upward on the USD pair, but what I want to know is if Bitcoin starts moving upward, is Link going to outperform it in an uptrend? Because if it's not, then I want my money in Bitcoin. I don't want my money in Link. I want it in Bitcoin because Bitcoin would be outperforming it. And if the altcoin is going to be outperforming Bitcoin, then I want it there, right? So what I want to show you guys on the Link BTC pair is we see, first I'm going to show you the market structure. Okay, so we see that this daily zone outlined by these two swing highs has just been getting pounded 1, 2, 3 times, and each time it keeps getting a weaker and weaker rejection. So we see a fairly strong rejection here, a fairly strong rejection here, but each time it gets rejected, it's been holding this zone of support here, this green zone. I personally exited the market right in here somewhere because I thought it was potentially going to drop down to this level, but I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong, but I'm wrong for good reasons. I was wrong because the market was actually more bullish than I was anticipating, and that has me more excited than I was previously. The other features I want to point out is this daily cloud structure. We see this cross here, but what's really exciting about this is this recross above the cloud. In the Ichimoku cloud system, this is the most bullish signal you could ask for. We see the lagging span, this yellow squiggly, hanging out above the price. We see a cross, which means that this is where the pullback happened, and then it recrossed, which means the pullback was nowhere near as strong as the bulls, and it recrossed above the cloud. We see the 200 EMA trending upward. We see the 50 EMA. This is bull market city for Link. This thing looks like it is just ready to just rip the crypto market a new hole. I know unfortunately it's like really memey. There's like a lot of people that are kind of just like, they're the new XRP army, but whatever, man. The Link Marines are okay in my book. Don't confuse the fanaticism with what is an otherwise strong trend. Link is by far one of the most bullish macro structures I've seen in crypto in years. The other thing I want to point out is on the USD pair, the reason why I was talking about this market back here at like 1.6 or whatever it was, because when I look at this, I see a gigantic accumulation campaign, which means that someone with a lot of money has a very strong vested interest in marking this up. And we can see on this pullback, it retested the top of the range and it's ready for markup, which means this thing hasn't even begun to run. Began? It has not begun. The run has not begun. It just looks full steam ahead. On the lower time frames, you might get a little bit of a pullback. We can see that we're retesting the breakout level here, but nothing that's like terribly eyebrow raising. I'm immediately eyeballing long positions, and I want to go back to the Coinbase chart for the daily structure. When I look at where you at, Cloud, get back here. I think it's possible we get a retest of this Kijun at 2.78, but even a pullback to there, like maybe it just flashes a wick or something. That's like still bull mode. What we don't want to see though is we don't want to see the market closing daily candles back below this little squiggly bro here. Don't want to see that. And then if that gives way, we'll probably see a retest of the 50 EMA because we haven't retested it at all. And that's kind of just what markets do. They break out above the 50 and then eventually they'll retest it. So, it's possible this thing just keeps trending upward and the 50 EMA keeps trending upward too. But one day this will get retested. And when that gets retested, that's the level to buy for me personally. Yeah, what else can I say about Link? Yeah, it just looks great. Looks good. Okay. What else do I want to say? I've been watching Litecoin like a hawk. The Litecoin market just looks so good. First, I'll talk about the USD pair, and then I'll talk about the BTC pair. So I put out a tweet a few days ago talking about how this looked like a spring to me, and it still looks like a spring to me now. I was just wrong about the location, but the rally looks good. The fact that we reclaimed this trading range is a big deal, and what I really want to see for confirmation of this reaccumulation trading range is I want to see the market push above this midline, the $61 to $62 value, and hold support here. If it holds support there, then it's onward and upward for Litecoin. The reason why I'm so bullish on Litecoin, I'll show you this. Oops, what the hell? So we can see that Litecoin likes a trend in these really clean channels. And if I drew another channel here, we would see a really clean channel here that broke out. And it started trending upward, and then it broke down out of its channel and started trending downward. And right now we're at the breakout level of the downward channel. If we look at the daily time frame for the cloud, it's not super bullish yet. It's been fighting with the 50 EMA, but again, this is what reversals tend to look like. We see a fighting of the 50 EMA. A fighting of the cloud reversal, and as long as price is trending, it's in the cloud, it's finding support on the Kijun, the red squiggly, then it's got a bullish flavor to it, and that's all good. But what I really like is the Litecoin Bitcoin chart. So remember how I said earlier that markets like to break out above the 50 EMA and retest them. So here's the last breakout earlier on in the year. We saw a breakout following a strong downtrend. It had a bit of indecision along the 50 EMA, but it finally retested it, found support, and then it rallied to the heavens. And that's what we're seeing here. So strong downtrend, went sideways a little bit, and now it's finding support. The daily candle finally closed above the 50 EMA. We saw a nice retest, and this thing looks ready to rock and roll. The immediate upside target for this BTC chart would be retest of the 200 EMA. So it makes sense because there's a lot of horizontal interest here. And then from here, we'll have to reassess. But my immediate upside target for this is going to be the 0.0085 level. That's the immediate level of interest. And if we can push the price back above and find support, similar to what we did here, that'd be cool. That'd be sweet. That'd be amazing. The other thing that I want to point out, the other thing, on the Litecoin, on the Litecoin Bitcoin chart, we got to look back at a chart with a little bit more market history on it, like Poloniex. We can see that the market is at its cycle low. So we can see here that all the reversals that have happened for Litecoin have come about with a break of the 50 EMA. Boom, boom. This one had a temporary reversal, and it failed to hold support. That's why my immediate upside target is the 200 EMA, and we'll have to reassess. But typically, when Litecoin breaks out, it breaks the 50 EMA, tags the 200 EMA, and then it either pulls back or keeps going. So we can see that it has this cyclical sort of pattern, and right now it's at its range low. So lots of fun stuff going on here. I've been talking for a while, so I'll check in with you guys and see what you guys have to say. Any questions? Any commentary? Anything? Someone on Twitch asked if I pay attention to funding rates. So I peripherally do. I know someone in my trading group. He pays closer attention to me. He's got an indicator that keeps track of that stuff, and there is a decent correlation between high funding rates and reversals. And just anecdotally, I've noticed that when the funding rate is really high, there tends to be a lot of fake outs and reversals and stuff. But no, I don't specifically use that for my market bias, mostly because that's for intraday stuff. And I tend to use tools that I feel a little bit more comfortable with my market bias. Let me see. From a Wyckofian to a moving average trader, you always wear a spastic fool. So yeah, so the moving average it actually goes hand in hand with the Wyckofian analysis. So if we look at this like a trading range right here, this is our trading range, and this is our creek. The creek gets outlined really nicely by the 50 EMA, and we see that quite often actually. We see that the creek serves to be, or the 50 EMA serves to be a creek sort of function, and so it actually does go hand in hand. Like this is a really clean trading range here. We see, our selling climax, automatic reaction, sign of strength, and then here's the creek, and we can see it very clearly with the 50 EMA. So they actually do go hand in hand. They're not exclusive in any sort of fashion. In a non-trending environment, moving averages are meaningless. Okay. I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree on that. I mean, this looks pretty trending to me, but I'm not gonna argue with you. I don't really give a shit what you think. Anyway, what else we got here? Do you buy Litecoin USD? Litecoin. Wait, let me see if I understand this question. Do you buy Litecoin USD? Litecoin USD leverage position or Litecoin, Bitcoin leverage. So if you're looking to manage your risk properly, there should be no difference between your Litecoin USD and Litecoin USD leverage position in terms of risk. Here is my criteria. Here, I'll type it out here for you guys. This is my criteria for buying different pairs. 1, is Bitcoin trending upward? If yes, buy the Alt USD pair. Hold on. 2, is altcoin BTC pair trending upward? If both of these criteria are met, if both of these criteria are met, you buy the Alt USD pair. If you buy the if the alt Bitcoin USD pair is trending upward but Bitcoin is trending downward, I'm not buying the altcoin at all. That's just me personally. I'm not interested in playing the BTC pair. So my exclusive criteria are this: must be yes. Must be yes. If both of these criteria are met, I'm not buying the altcoin at all. Yeah, so that is my criteria. I don't personally play the actual BTC pairs per se. I look at them for guidance for just buying the USD pair flat out. That's not to say if I have Bitcoin, I won't just trade it for the altcoin, but it is effectively the same thing. So hope that answer your question. KSR says, thanks for streaming again. Have you been paying much attention to BAT? Yeah, so I have been paying attention to BAT. And if you guys want me to move on, I'll go check. I'll switch over to BAT. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll switch over to BAT. BAT is a coin I've been watching for a while. Oops. So what I really like about BAT is how cyclical it is, and we can see that the range low got popped and then immediately started to rally, and we even got this nice retest on the support level outlined by this the weekly. So this is the BAT BTC chart. And currently it's sitting right at resistance, so I don't see an immediate reason to long this. But when you look at the cloud structure, for the weekly chart, it doesn't really have a whole lot of price history, but we can see that I just printed a new little thing because the weekly close. We can see that it's still kind of like hanging out with this 50 EMA / Tenkin thing, and when we look at the daily, we see again this 50 EMA trend sort of thing. So again with again when we see the accumulation, what in the fuck is going on right now? There we go. When we look at the accumulation trading range, we see a very similar thing to what we saw on Litecoin. We see where's my trading range? Here we go. So we can see a range low. We see a range high. This is rough and dirty, obviously. And then we see this creaky sort of thing, which again gets outlined by the cloud structure and 50 EMA structure. So when we look at the higher time frame bias, the bias gets broken with the breakout and retest of the 50 EMA. So again, here's another coin breaking the 50 EMA and retesting it from the top side, which also coincided with a trading range retest. And once that got accepted, we saw quite clearly a very strong run to the upside. And just like Link, which is very nice if you're in BAT, we see the recross of the Tenkin and the Kijun. The next bullish thing that we want to go on our checklist is we want to see the 50 EMA start trending above the 200. But so far, it's fighting this daily close. It's back above the 200 EMA. This is still very, 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 very bullish. There's just, if we want to see a sustained macro run, there's just a couple of checklists left that we need to, a couple of items we need to check off. So, yeah, BAT looks really good. This is again the criteria that I would look for the beginning of a sustained move to the upside. That's not just a flash in the pan over the course of a week, maybe a few weeks or a couple of months, that sort of thing. And when we look at the BAT USD pair, let me put my cloud on this. We see much of the same with the 50 EMA as well. So it's currently fighting with the Tenkan. I'm sorry, the Kijun. I keep fucking that up. But we see a golden cross. Look at this little memer right here. So the USD pair is trending upward. The BTC pair is trending upward. So to answer the dude's question on Twitch about what I would buy, you buy BAT USD here. This is the type of stuff that dreams and memes are made of. We see a cross, recross on the cloud. We see a golden cross on the BAT USD chart, and the cloud is just full blown bull. It's, you know, it is kind of like testing some horizontals, but this is why I trade altcoins on higher time frames rather than lower time frames, because even if this does slam into this thing, you know, maybe it like goes into here, retests and pulls back a little bit. I don't really give a shit about the pullback. You know, maybe it pulls back a decent amount and retests the 200 EMA. My bias is not broken because I have a very strong bullish bias on both the Bitcoin pair and the USD pair, and then cloud structure is just saying buy, 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 buy. So this looks like it's just ready to keep moving to the upside. Don't you think we break down the falling wedge? Oh, he's talking about Bitcoin. Okay. So this is on Twitch. Don't you think we break down the falling wedge to the downside, the USD pair, if we had a rejection today? So I actually addressed that earlier on, so I'm not going to rehash that. Earlier on in the stream is when I talked about the downside target if it does break the falling wedge to the downside. Yeah, it's totally possible breaks the wedge to the downside, but you can't just live in fear your whole life, as Don Alt said. You can't just not play nice setups because you're scared that Bitcoin might break down. You know, play the chart, and if you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're right, then cool. All right, so I see a couple of people asking for EOS, so we'll do that. Actually, I haven't looked at an EOS chart in a while, so I need to clean this up. Let's get this. Oops. Let's get this over here. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. And we'll keep this one. Okay. All right, so here's EOS USD. And if I'm looking at this, I would guess that, yeah, again, the 50 EMA is coming into play here. We see the breakout, the retest, and the cloud structure is looking not the most bullish, but it's looking bullish. It's definitely looking good. It's finding support on the prior accumulation range, which was in the form of the W bottom here. And yeah, this looks really good. EOS looks very, very good here. And when we look at the BTC pair for confirmation, this looks like an accumulation trading range that's ready to break out. So we see here's our range. Boom. We see this really nice shakeout here on high volume that got immediately bought up, and it made this last point of support here, and it's slowly drifting upward. And I would venture to guess, if I put the cloud structure on here, it is also breaking the 50 EMA. Yep, there we go. So this actually looks really good. So here's the lagging span moving above the cloud. We see a bullish cloud. We see the price finding support on the Tenkan and the Kijun. The 50 EMA is moving upward. The next logical stop is going to be this 200 EMA from here. Yeah. This looks very, very good. Also, this lines up very well with this horizontal, with this swing low here. So maybe it like wicks above. Sometimes EOS is like really low liquidity, so it gets these fucking crazy wicks, But yeah, EOS looks really, really good. For sure. Oh, and the question, EOS, BTC, creek jumping, ascending triangle breakup. Yeah, I agree with both those statements. It had, again, the 50 EMA serving to be the creek. It jumped the creek here. It actually had two creeks, so if we're going to be technical about it. So it had the first creek here. Sometimes we have a lower and an upper creek. So here's the lower creek. It jumped it, had the shakeout, found support on the creek sort of dealio, and then it re-jumped it here. So this looks really, really good. I like this chart. A lot of good altcoin charts coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, good eye. Whoever said Dingus Amingus won. Yeah. Creek jump, yes, I agree. Creek jump. Yeah, and someone else on YouTube was saying check out EOS. So I hope that answered your questions there. Stellar Lumen's been doing some fun stuff. It had this gigantic wick though. Oh, Cardano. Let's talk about Cardano because Cardano looks really, really good too. So when we look at Cardano, we see the beginnings of a trend reversal. So like I was saying several times earlier, it's kind of still hanging out in the cloud. It is finding support on the 50 EMA, so that's a nice check in the bull column. But we want to see price trending above the cloud, not inside the cloud, because this is like zone of indetermination. And so we don't really want to see price hanging out in there. We want to see the price outside and trending above with the Tenkan and the Kijun trending upward, the 50 EMA trending upward. Yeah, that's the ADA USD pair, but the BTC pair looks real saucy. So it has a really nice trading range right here, just like a lot of alts do right now. And we can see that it is being heavily bought up, and we can see right here, this is something that always raises my eyes, is when we see a market that's trending in a trading range and then it just slowly begins this grind upward. This is what we would call, in a Wyckoffean sense, a change of character for the market structure. So change of character. And this is what we want to see if you're a Wyckoffean. And we can see here, it just makes higher lows and it looks really nice. And when we slap the cloud structure on there as well, again, we see this interaction with the 50 EMA. And we see bullish structure on the cloud. So price is above the cloud. I would want to see this Kijun trending above the cloud first, but maybe it snakes right through there in a couple of days. Yeah, this looks really, really good. Cardano looks really, really good. It's just currently running into some resistance on these levels it's created. But yeah, the fact that it reclaimed the 50 and it started trending upward on this change of character, it's exactly what I want to see if I'm looking to be a Cardano bull. Nothing really bearish there. Of course, you got to do Ether. Can't not do Ether. The Ether market's just been a giant shithole lately. It's been just all over the place. It's been one of the worst charts to trade, honestly. It's just been a giant heartbreaker. But I need to clean this chart up too. I haven't been trading Ether that much lately. Let me get rid of this. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I could have sworn I deleted this before. Sometimes TradingView does a weird thing where it'll just like resurface old notation. If you're using, like, I'll use my TradingView on my desktop and my laptop, and somehow it just like, TradingView just can't handle it. But they sponsor me, so love you, TradingView. You're awesome. Okay, what I really like about the Ether chart from a macro perspective. So we had this nice accumulation. Ascending triangle sort of thing. We broke out, we retested, and we rallied. What I like about this is that we're still finding support here despite all of our shortcomings in the BTC pair, which I'm going to show. There's nothing really exciting about this cloud structure just yet. It is kind of playing just the tip here with the 50 EMA. Again, nothing terribly exciting. Nothing that makes me say, "Oh, I need to throw my money in it." It's not like a BAT or a Link or an EOS or an ADA. This is kind of like, meh. This is something that we put on the back burner to check on later. The BTC pair doesn't look that bad. We do see a recross here inside the cloud. But what I really want to see is a break of this zone here that I've outlined and a break of the cloud. It's, again, once it's inside the cloud, it's in determination land. So it's quite possible it breaks out, but it's also possible it just shits the bed here. So before I get terribly excited about Ether, definitely want to see this thing trending outside the cloud, and see this Chiku span, the lagging span, the yellow squiggly guy trending above the price. So nothing super duper cool about Ether Bitcoin or Ether USD. I mean, the recross is cool, but nothing that's making me say, shut up and take my money. Nothing like that. On Itchy, do I ever use the crypto settings? No, so I don't know. That's not to say they're bad settings or anything, but it's just not something that I personally like. For the way that I view and structure the market, I like the traditional settings. You get a little bit faster signals, and for someone like me who plays trading ranges or identifies trading ranges and uses them to gauge my market bias, I don't like seeing the delayed signals from the cloud that you would see on the quote unquote crypto settings. But that's not to say they're bad. There's just different strategies, and I don't like that strategy personally for me, but if it works for you, then cool. I know Josh Carpe Noctum, Josh Olszewicz, the dude that I had on stream a few months ago, that's like his bread and butter. He likes that, and it works well for him. So if it works, then it works. Cool. Throw some more I'll take a couple more altcoins. You guys have been getting some good charts out here, so let's keep the discussion going. These are good. In the meantime, in case you missed the beginning of the stream, I'll tell you about my my market report that I'm going to be doing regularly. So it's basically just a longer form, detailed version of this stream with more in-depth analysis and rationale. Yeah, it's only going to be $4 per report, and it'll be done through Patreon. So there's no subscription involved. You would just pay for what I produce, and if I don't put out a market report, then you don't pay for it. But when I do, you get alerted of it and you get access to it. I think I'm going to do something like, after a 2-week delay, I'll put them out for free. But if you want the real-time, up-to-date stuff, because crypto moves pretty fast, you would obviously not want to wait 2 weeks. Yeah. The market report will come out on like Mondays or Tuesdays, basically after the candle structure is formed. And yeah, just a nice compliment to keep track of my my macro view of the market. Also, there's a coupon code for my trading group if you're interested in doing that. It is fall 19, despite the fact that we're going to be in winter in, I guess, about a month or a few weeks, whatever it is. Yeah, fall 19, coupon's good until the end of the year, and it's 50% off your first subscription. So if you've ever been interested in doing that, now's the time. What video games am I into currently? Dude, I've been playing the shit out of Scum, but I'm looking to get back into Rust. Rust just has some good... I really like the survival games, so Rust has had some cool updates that I want to play around with, but I've been playing Scum primarily. And I did see that Apex Legends has had some cool updates, but I haven't played that in a while, since the last Crypto and Games that I did with Jack. So maybe I'll bring that back at some point, but You guys have any other altcoins you want to look at? Even if it's the shittiest of shitcoin? If not, we'll wrap this up. We'll end it. Oh yeah, the new Halo. Yeah, I might dip my toes into that. Yeah, but Apex Legends was a lot of fun. It just kind of gets repetitive, but I know that they've added some other fun stuff to the game that I'll have to check out. Someone wants to check. To be honest, okay, so someone's requesting Bitcoin Cash. I'll check out Bitcoin Cash right here. So here's Bitcoin Cash. First, we'll look at the USD pair. And I won't go too into detail about this, but we'll do the same sort of thing. So cloud structure looks good. I don't like that it's back inside the cloud. I want to see this back above the 50 EMA. But again, like I said, time and time again, this is how reversals start to look. They break the 50 EMA, they start to fight over it, and if it can hold support in the 50 EMA, that's when the rally starts. So the USD pair is currently in that angsty phase where it doesn't really know what it wants to do. And then the BTC pair looks really good. We see the breakout, and right now it's in this giant trading range. Right here. Boom. Let's call this the top. Boom. And yeah, it's kind of trending upward. And the market structure is bullish. I could easily see this coming back and retesting the 50. There's a lot of confluence there with horizontals and stuff. So yeah, that's what I would be expecting from there. Man, I just realized I haven't eaten today. I'm a fucking degenerate. All right, boys. Boys and gals. Let's go ahead and call it. Again, if you're interested in my market report, there's a link in the description below. You know, it's cheap. It's $4. It's long. It's thorough. And it has a total encapsulating market outlook from the total crypto cap, the altcoin market cap, the Bitcoin market cap, and it will go into more detail week to week on various altcoins like Link, like Litecoin, EOS, stuff like that. And those will be rotating depending on whether or not they're trending or whether or not they're popular or whatever. And maybe I'll start instituting like a poll, for the people that do actually subscribe to the newsletter. I'll probably put up a poll or something like that. Like, what do you want to see over the next couple weeks? Which altcoins? And then, I'll do the analysis on that. So, yeah, so that's all I got for right now. Keep an eye out for all the other content I'll be putting out. Okay, I'll do one more coin right here. Someone caught me right before I left. Who wants to do ENJ? All right, let's do it. Let me find a blank slate. Let's do it right here. ENJ. Okay. All right, so Angian. Jesus Christ. Look at this. Look at this fucking thing. Wow, what a clown. Okay. So, and this is on log too. My God. So many poor souls got trapped into this pump. and then they just got murked. But it does look like it's turning around. Bullish cloud structure on the BTC pair. Nice. Reclaimed the 50 EMA. Bullish cloud. Cool. Let's get the USD pair. So this is the what? Let me just get the let's get that. USD pair, not terribly exciting. It is reclaiming the 50 EMA and this horizontal row here, so let's see. All right, so this is going to be sorry, I'm just looking at this thing because I haven't looked at this coin yet. So there's going to be a zone of resistance most likely in here. You know, all this fun stuff in here. I could see this breaking out and seeing a 20% run, 30% run to here. But in terms of a macro move that I'm going to hold the coin for several weeks, not quite there for me yet. That's going to be a no for me, dog. I think there are more productive, you know, maybe it breaks out, maybe it does this fucking rager of a green bean here, but that's not, I don't like chasing these pump and dumps. I don't like just trying to time the pump and dumps. I want to have the slow bleed week to week. Not slow bleed. My brain is mush right here. I want to see a continuous growth of the coin, something that indicates macro interest and a vested interest and a sustained bull rally. So this is just, you know, maybe it'll be there for me, but right now that's not what I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Again, go to bitcoinschmidtcoin.com. Use coupon code FALL19 if you're interested in joining my trading group. It is a Discord where like-minded individuals get together and talk about the crypto market and hopefully come to a better understanding day to day. Also, a lot of stock market talk, a lot of precious metals, non-precious metals, dirt. We got some dirt salesmen in there. Yeah, a lot of fun discussion day to day in there. Also, if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, go to my Patreon. It's just it's in the link in the description below the YouTube channel. Oh shit! I just realized on Twitch it's not there. Let me see if I can just paste it into chat. Copy link address. What in the flying fuck is this? Sorry, I should have put this on Twitch. Okay, it's just patreon.com/bitcoinschmidtcoin right here. Boom. And I'll put it in YouTube as well. So if you're interested in the news and the market report, yeah, check it out. The first one will probably come. And you know, if you're interested in the format and you're like, I don't know, this $4 seems kind of like bullshit. I put out the last two that I wrote, the test run that I did over the summer. And that's the general format. It'll come. I'm gonna make it a little bit more technical. You know, have a table of contents and stuff like that in the latest edition. But you can expect that to come out either tomorrow or Tuesday. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna make this a regular thing. So free up your Sunday nights. Get a glass of bourbon, a bottle of kombucha, a nice book, and I'll be streaming the Sunday market closes going forward. So All right, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next Sunday.